At Roper St. Francis, our ability to provide excellent care is strengthened by the involvement and generosity of community members like you. The two stories I'm about to share with you are a wonderful example of how you help us achieve our mission of healing all people with compassion, faith, and excellence. Throughout her battle with cancer, Ron and Donna Fielding shared a vision of bringing a comprehensive cancer wellness program to the Charleston area. Hers is a courageous story.
The diagnosis of cancer is just an instant life-changing event. You don't sleep the first night after you hear that a loved one has cancer. So knowing where to turn for help is difficult, but the time commitments of the doctors are very brief, and the shock of a cancer diagnosis makes it very difficult to handle the process. To have someone to directly assist you with that process is extremely important, in my opinion. Any savings that the government can produce in healthcare are done by cutting out all kinds of what they will call fringes. But for families suffering a cancer diagnosis are the difference between feeling totally lost in the system and feeling like there's a place they can go to guide them as to what they need as a family to stay emotionally together. And that kind of service is simply never going to be subsidized by the government or an insurance company. It has to be done by donations. Donna and I are clearly Northerners who came here initially for short vacations while the kids were growing up. We grew to love the Charleston area and spent an increasing amount of time here. The reason for becoming familiar with Roper St. Francis was, of course, under difficult circumstances of the recurrence of her cancer. But we are in a financial position to help out, to improve the cancer center and provide this wellness center. We think it's very important for the community, and we do hope to serve as an example that others will follow in helping to support both Roper St. Francis Hospital and the other important cultural institutions of the Charleston community.
By giving to Roper St. Francis, the Buxton family is continuing the legacy of Dr. Julian Buxton, who was revered by his fellow doctors, patients, and friends. Through this giving, his memory lives on.
My father was a great, compassionate guy, and what I remember most is his ability to deliver his feelings in a humble manner and get his point across without being too aggressive.
He was a wonderful father, he really was.
Our father's hands were huge, and I think the folks that had to order the gloves know that. But you could say that he could hold that community in his hands. And it didn't matter what your station was in life.
Julian never turned down a telephone call to go to the emergency room or from a patient that needed his help. And I think he built up a love of people, just knew that he was going to help them. And I think that helped over the years just build up his reputation of being very sincere and caring about people. He felt very strongly that the nurses are the backbones of the doctors, and I think any doctor will tell you that. The nurses are so important, but a lot of them cannot afford extra education. So he would be delighted to know that this scholarship has grown, because they're the ones that really are the right hand to the doctors.
A bedside manner. That's what Dad had. He had a true bedside manner. And if you can give back to the hospital to create that atmosphere through giving, then I think that's what the giving is all about. And I think that's why I give back. I want to preserve that. I want to help create that so when we're in a time of need, anybody's in a time of need and you have to go to a hospital, that you feel like you're welcome there, that people are truly looking out after you. And it's that atmosphere we want to create in Roper St. Francis moving forward and preserve that moving forward.
Well, we hope all the people in this community will continue to support Roper St. Francis as I and most of my family do, because we do feel it is so important.
On behalf of Roper St. Francis, thank you for changing moments through giving.